What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Part 4 has arrived. You guys have been waiting for it. Before we do,
smash that subscribe button.
For part 5.
Yeah, that's it for part 5. And because we're en route to 100K.
Let's do it, guys.
I think Magic wanted to be friends with Larry Bird. He wanted to be friends with him on the World Invitational Tournament, and Larry just wasn't very receptive. I think he wanted to be friends with him during the Final Four. Larry wouldn't even go over and shake his hand.
Oh, damn.
So now Magic's saying, well, what's with this guy? Everybody loves me. How come you don't love me? And then they get to their rookie year, the first time they play each other.
Love me?
They have a very hard foul.
Oh.
And they have to be separated a little bit. And Magic's like, all right, well, the heck with this guy. You don't like me? Fine. All right, good. I don't like you either.
I feel like Larry Bird was just very focused in his career. He didn't really make a lot of friendships. He just wanted to play and let his basketball skills do the talking. He wasn't about friendly shit.
He's a very competitive player, and I'm a very competitive player, and we go head to head, and we go for blood almost.
The vibe was nasty. It was ugly. It was we didn't like each other.
I'm the one that did all that. To tell you the truth, it was.
He admits it.
I just don't want to be hanging around him. I mean, that's my main competition.
And he couldn't escape the
I like
memory
that.
of losing to him in 1979.
Oh, it ate at him bad that he didn't win that national title against Magic. That was something, it just burned him.
It was one thing for them to be in the 79 championship. Magic had the better team. Everybody agreed with that. Magic had the better game. Fine. Now you get to the pros. Larry has this incredible year.
Great shot.
Watching in a club while Magic Johnson wins a championship, and he's thinking, all right, I'm behind 2-0 now.
Yeah, I watched that game, and I couldn't believe it. I always wanted to play at that level.
But what Bird couldn't possibly have known was that he had inspired Magic's performance when he was named Rookie of the Year earlier that same day.
The PR person from the Lakers says, hey, Irvin, the Rookie of the Year voting has come out. And Magic says, okay, well, who won? He said, well, Larry Bird won. And Magic says, well, was it close? And he said, oh, no. He went out that day.
63 votes to 3 votes. Wow. So they probably thought Johnson's winning or Magic's winning because of his team rather than his individual ability. I reckon that's the vibe they had. But then with Larry Bird, although he wasn't in the winning teams, individual ability was off the scales. Hence the votes.
Yes, to try to win the NBA championship, but also to prove it to one Larry Bird. You know what? I should have been Rookie of the Year.
Even though I won the championship, I still wanted to win the Rookie of the Year too.
Damn.
He won that championship. I was pissed. I want him one.
But even after he had won one the next year, his obsession only grew deeper.
I'd get up in the mornings and see what he did, because their games came on late. Then you look at the box score. I had to have him there for some reason. It's like a crutch, somebody I can compare myself to.
I hated what was being said that Larry was better than me, and I'm just a guy who can control the game. My first 4 or 5 years, that bothered me a lot. I didn't tell nobody it bothered me, but it did.
Their competitive dislike emerged from a greater truth, that on the court, they were doppelgangers. Team-oriented stars who cared about winning above all else. Basketball savants who fused the substance of the 60s with the style of the 70s to create a new and exciting yet selfless way to play the game in the 1980s.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. But I'm gonna pass in a way to make you look like a jackass. They were so similar in the way they competed.
Yeah.
I mean, they were two halves of the same brain.
Them on the same team would have been wild at this level. And I feel like they needed each other. Because, you know, like, to get to your top potential, sometimes you need that competition.
But I feel like, for example, Larry Bird's obsession with Magic Johnson, that's what pushed him to get to where he was. For example, when they competed against each other and then Larry Bird's team lost, it took a major toll on him.
Yeah.
And that's when his obsession became stronger for Magic Johnson and him waking up seeing the scores when he did or whatever.
He was just keeping on track with it.
Exactly. And that's what pushed him to do better. If they were both on the same team, yeah, they would have been a good team. But them being on separate teams pushed them to be where they are.
It done them both a favor.
Yeah.
They needed that.
Same craziness to excel.
I seen that first couple days I was with him.
basketball IQ off the chart.
Seen the game a little different, most players.
Playing the game the right way was everything.
A lot of guys can just score, a lot of guys can just rebound, a lot of guys can just make plays. We can do it all.
Larry and Magic could control the game with 12 shots. It was amazing. They'd be 7 for 12. They'd have 20 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists. And you go, man, the guy shot the ball 12 times and was the best player on the court by far.
But I think it was tough at first. I don't think either one of them wanted to recognize that they had any equal anywhere in what they did. But they sure as hell didn't want to recognize that their equal happened to be that other guy.
That's why we hated each other too, because we knew we were mirrors of each other.
I think for a while the two of them had to come to grips with that.
They had begun changing the game, but with continued low television ratings and tape-delayed finals, the league was struggling to get the word out. When the NBA and CBS signed a new TV deal before the 82-83 season, the rescue plan was simple: sell more Bird and Magic, and sell them not just as ball players, but as arch-rival characters in their own dramatic saga.
Makes it exciting. It's like without watching a series.
Slick Showtime African-American guy out west, and you got the lunch bucket, floppy-haired white guy with the bruises all over his body. It's central casting. It's perfect.
I mean, this was like made in heaven. In 1979, this idea of Magic and Bird was created, and so that was sort of a no-brainer. We'd have a doubleheader. It would be the Celtics playing first and the Lakers playing second, and that's the way we did it.
I feel like what escalated that to make it the perfect TV drama in a way is one was African American and one was white American. So that way they can attract all audiences. If it was too white American or too African American, it would just attract that one audience. They got the best of both worlds, and they allowed that to cause.
And we saw as well in one of our previous reactions, there was a white American that said he didn't want to go to a basketball game because he couldn't relate to anybody. So when Larry Bird came, it felt like, okay, like
it was part of this, I think. It was like, I think so. He said basically there weren't enough white guys playing and he's not going to watch it because of that. So they got the perfect combo now.
And when the Celtics and Lakers both reached the finals just a year into the new TV deal in 1984, it appeared the superstar investment was about to pay off.
It was huge. It was probably the biggest moment the NBA had up to that point. You had Boston and LA, East against West. It had all the elements of a classic showdown.
Including what was becoming the most inescapable element of all.
Did we know that blacks and whites were lining up, the whites with the Celtics, the blacks with... Of course we knew that.
Even in the Celtics' own backyard.
They land at Logan Airport at the 84 finals. He's getting accosted by various people who are telling him Larry's going to take him down. But this one older African-American gentleman comes up to me and goes, "Magic, I want to wish you well. Good luck. I want you to crush the Celtics." And he said, "Oh, well, where are you from?" He said, "Well, I'm from Boston." And he said, "You're from Boston and you're rooting for the Lakers? I thought everybody here was crazy about the Celtics." And he looked right at me and he said, "Now, why would I root for those white boys?"
There we go. It became a race thing, which I'm sure a lot of violence are brewed of this, hence why they're probably going to show the police now.
Boston, after all, was a town still scarred by the ugly busing crisis of the mid-70s.
Racist.
A violent period of urban unrest during which white had been pitted against black. The resulting taint on the city nationally, coupled with a Boston roster littered with white players, affirmed to many black Americans that the Celtics were not the team for them.
Even today, people said, "You played with the Celtics, and I hated you at that time. I wanted Magic to win. I didn't want that damn Larry Bird to win. We had all these black players, but they looked at us because we had Larry Bird leading us as a team that was white."
They were perfect archetypes for what was becoming the biggest story in sports. But for the real-life players, the narrative was much simpler.
It's finally going to happen. We get to go head-to-head again. It's just a matter of rolling that ball out there and let's get it on.
Welcome then to the Boston Garden and the start of the NBA World Championship Series. I'm Brent Musburger. In each of the last 4 NBA World Championship Series, either Magic or Bird has competed. But this is the first time that the two have gone head-to-head for the title.
Look at the stadium, it's full. Full stadium.
Man, we jumped out on them that first game. won in Boston.
And they won.
Wow.
And with less than a minute to go
Close.
in Game 2, the Lakers were closing in on a commanding series lead.
From that point on, things began to crumble.
Down to 9 seconds. Magic holding the ball. Magic trying to work on Maxwell. Magic has still got us down to 2 seconds. 1 second. He's going to have to shoot it. He doesn't get it off. He doesn't get it off.
Cheesy Johnson dribbling the timeout. What are you doing?
The Lakers regained their stride in Game 3, only to be rudely knocked off it again in Game 4.
Oh my God, they were back and forth with each other.
And now let's watch it. Cooper and the Celtics, and now the bench is empty.
When Kurt Rambis got taken out,
Yeah, we done
we
dirty.
started fighting instead of playing.
Kareem swings the elbow, and now is yelling at Larry Bird. Jaw to jaw.
And it made us realize we were not mentally tougher than the Celtics.
Magic's just not himself.
To be sure they won't let the time run out as they did in Game 2. Harris steals the ball, and the Celtics call a timeout.
There were a number of places where, Irvin didn't do what people expected him to do.
Tied at 123.
Oh, miss.
He misses the first. Johnson misses
It's the
goal.
pressure.
Celtics want a timeout. Despondent Magic Johnson goes to the bench.
Look at the scores, man.
Bird turnaround hits.
Game 5 went to the Celtics. Game
Wow.
6 to the Lakers. It was like 1979 all over again, down to one game for Bird and Magic.
If everybody had to look at it, probably would have said this is going to be a 7-game series.
I thought we'd sweep them in 4, but just went a little bit longer. Now we just have to do it in 7.
I can see why these are saved basketball. Imagine the competition with the fans.
Oh,
and this is
definitely.
it's just game on game, like.
Yeah.
That's the only time I ever felt that. There ain't no way they're walking out here with a win. No way.
Lakers had several chances.
Nice.
Larry Bird chucking down the court. Bird.
Good shot.
How did he do it? Now Johnson with the ball. The Lakers trying to cut it to 1.
Good
And
defense.
he loses it. The Boston Celtics are the NBA World Champions.
That's incredible.
Oh.
That definitely hurt.
I pride myself in being the guy who's going to win it for us and deliver under pressure. And it didn't happen.
I hope he was hurting. Hope it killed him. He made some bad plays down the stretch, and nobody in there was happier than me. Not only winning the game makes you feel good, but just knowing the other guy's suffering, and he was.
I remember after the game that both he and I were in the showers crying and stayed in there for about 35, 40 minutes. It was hard because not only had we lost to the Boston Celtics, he had lost to his nemesis, Larry Bird.
Yeah.
I think he just made me dislike him more, because he was that good. And I think you be jealous. You jealous a little bit.
Larry, does this get you even with Magic for what happened between Michigan State and Indiana State all those many years ago?
Yeah, we're professionals now, but I won this one for Terre Haute.
Well, it was a big deal, and I remember asking Quinn Buckner about it afterwards. They had a celebration in downtown Boston after they won the championship, and, it was unusual for Larry to have these little outbursts, as Quinn would call them. But, about 11:30 at night, finally he turned to Quinn, he goes, I got him. I finally got him. And he was talking about Magic.
Good for him.
We're going to end it there, guys. That is very, very good. It's getting
I'm enjoying
really
it,
good.
though.
It's such a good series.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
Guys, thank you so much for recommending the series. This is part 4. Subscribe for part 5. It will be out soon. For now, peace out.
Bye.